Hey everyone, Collar here with Rise and Kenny and Moletrap listening on, although he casted these live last night, so he's not going to cast them anymore. But we're watching this exciting intro, by the way. I love Fire Red Hero throwing the red water at the end, even though Fire Red Hero got totally pwned in a much earlier round in a group of death. But doesn't matter, he was still once a part of the Lost Saga MSL, and Nada wants to continue being part of it. It is 1-1, Jangbi versus Nada, and we're here in set 3, which is on Neo Harmony. Yeah, Neo Harmony. And there's Jangbi's crazy keyboard.
So Neo Harmony is actually one of these maps that has some favoritism to it, and we're going to see this potentially in this matchup right here because Terran is currently at a 14-8 win rate over Protoss. So really, that's borderline 2-1, and that's definitely something that Nada will have into his advantage here. So, of course, Jangbi could overcome this. Every statistic that we ever read, there are people who break those statistics, of course. That's why we have statistics in the first place. Anything over 100% or anything different than 100% insinuates that or implies or has to have had wins from the other side, the other race. And generally the players on top, the ones who are in this OSL, are the ones who can do that, the ones who can execute the builds that can overcome those statistical differences are the ones that, make that happen. So Jangbi certainly has an opportunity here to do that. And Nada, of course, being 1-1 at this point, well, both players being 1-1 at this point, is going to try to stop that at all costs. And really, when you have a map advantage in a series like this, you want to make sure you win that match because it's going to be just that much more difficult when you get into the other matches. So Nada, I'm certain, is going to be way on top of his game here.
Certainly. Excited. This is the third set, as you guys mentioned, and this map is very interesting, actually. It does have a couple, it's really actually a small difference, but I tend to think it makes a big difference in this matchup. At the natural expansion, there is a slight smaller entrance into the natural, so there is 2 entrances into the natural, which can provide some kind of nice maneuvers for Terran, as they can really harass around that natural, really put a lot of pressure on the Protoss to be defensive. Now, of course, it does go the other way, as Jangbi can use that to his advantage as well. I tend to think it works a little bit better for Terran on this map, but then again, like you said, Rise, statistics have always been broken, and wow, I want to go to Korea now because that is one beautiful woman who does not hide her face.
Wow, wow.
Bow, chicka, chicka, wow. So anyways, we see some normal scouting going off here. Nothing crazy, so we're not going to see any proxies. That's probably a good idea. This is a rather large map. We do see, though, Nada scouting in the wrong direction, as we see Jangbi scouting in the right direction. A lot of the time, players will just scout in a clockwise position, which can work out sometimes. If you get the right position, you can scout your opponent earlier than they will scout you if they choose to do kind of the normal clockwise scouting position. Really, this map, it could go either way. With larger maps, I like to think that they go in the late game a lot more because it's just not as advantageous for the early game. But then again, we could see anything because we did see a rather crazy game last game from Jangbi.
Right, and see, look at this. Nada's very smart there. He sees how quick the probe got to his base, so he knows to go right through the middle here because he knows Jangbi couldn't have scouted with normal scouting time cross position. So he is going to scout Jangbi second. Jangbi probably not going to be able to block his ramp or anything like that. If you scout him third, if he was going for Zealots or something, I don't know. Actually, probably he wouldn't have blocked his ramp anyway. But a second probe moving out, interesting enough. So I wonder what this is an indication of. Nada passed it with his SCV. So this could be something interesting, or it could just be a second scouting probe. We don't know. It is going towards a 12 o'clock location. Lends me to think he's going to go for some kind of proxy, but Nada has seen it, so that is going to be very, very critical. Did Nada remember that that he saw it, and is he going to react properly? It looks like he's going to be going for what seems like a fast expand for now with the 1 SCV on gas. This being a Terran favored map, I think he's going to try to play a relatively long game on it. It is a very macro heavy map, and another feature other than the 2 choke points, which is favorable to Terran, is the fact that there's those temples, and the Terran player can either destroy the temple and get basically a free mineral-only expansion inside their base, which afterwards they can also float their command center, or they can put drops there. And looks like Jangbi is going to be going for a proxy here, probably a proxy robo, I'm going to guess, at the 12 o'clock location.
Yeah, I got to say, it's got to be almost definitely a proxy robo. I can't imagine him doing anything else. We've seen so much success with players who effectively hide that robo, but at the same time, Nada was just in his base and he didn't see any other tech buildings go up. He also probably noticed that the cybernetics core wasn't spinning when he was in there. So, of course, it is now, but I remember seeing it when he was in there before that it wasn't. So, it would kind of indicate that Jangbi might have been saving up for something else, and even though he didn't see the tech in there, maybe he thinks that Jangbi does have a proxy somewhere, or maybe he doesn't know anything. I don't know. But in the end, I think that Jangbi is playing a very smart game here. I think this is exactly what he needs to continue to do. Continue to keep Nada on his toes. And wow, Nada getting in, and he's going to see the scout. He's going to see no tech buildings at all in here, and just the one gateway in the cybernetics core spinning. But at this point in the match, he probably should expect a little something more at this point than what he just saw. So I'm very curious if he knows what's going on or suspects anything.
I think if I were to guess that Nada would know what is going on if he did catch that probe, as Cholera said, going out of the base when his SCV scouted. Now, one thing to mention, though, is that Nada did scout with that SCV just a few seconds ago. He did get in, and he saw the cybernetics core spinning, which is usually an indicator that they might just be going for some normal kind of early expansion, 2-gate, 1-gate, it really just depends. Expansion, he really could still be in the dark. Now, I think it really is going to come down to, did he see that probe move out of the base, the second probe? That usually means that he is going to go for something weird. Now, it looks like a little early break going in here, and if that mine would have gone off, would have done a ton of damage. Luckily, the Zealot died beforehand. It looks like Nada's going to be able to push these goons back. Now, Nada is probably expecting something soon, if anything, if he did see that probe. So he should be getting ready for that very soon, maybe laying mines in his main, putting up turrets. Who knows? I haven't seen yet. Looks like not a lot of turrets or mines up in his main, so he's going to need to start protecting that soon, as I think the Reaver is going to be popping out in just the next 15 to 30 seconds or so.
It is, and because of the proxy location, it's going to get there really fast. I mean, this is a standard build from Nada, a standard defensive fast expand build, but, you know, with the standard timing, he might not have enough turrets. It's going to come down to whether he's going to put one right next to that command center. He is going to put one down to the command center. That gives me hope for him because he definitely suspects some sort of tech build here. Whether it's DTs or Reavers, you need those early engineering bay and those early turrets. And this is the weak point of the fast expand, I think, is that you don't have the early turrets unless you, of course, you go very, very fast engineering bay, which is what basically Nada has done. And now he sees the drop. He knows there's something going on. And the thing is, with that one turret there, that might just be enough. But no, looks like the Reaver gets one hit off, kills off a tank. Might have spoken too soon because there's no siege mode done yet for Nada. Siege mode is not done, and siege mode could have made a big difference here, but it looks like Jangbi now has temporary control. The Dragoon goes down, but there's still the Reaver left, and it's killed off the turret. Meanwhile, just continuing to snipe SCVs here. Nada needs to crawl that tank up and really protect his command center, but so far Jangbi, oh man, he gets a couple more SCVs. So far he's done a lot of damage actually, and Nada really needs to get rid of this and get a turret up.
Yeah, and at this point, Jangbi, I don't really see there's much more harassment he can do at this point, but he might be able to sneak in behind the natural expansion. And oh man, the SCVs are right there. If he decides to drop a Reaver on that, he could get a crazy kill, but he risks taking 2 shots from Siege Tank. So it looks like he's going to opt to not do that. Not, I guess, comfortable enough, but at the same time, he's doing a great job of attacking on 2 fronts. He's now going in the front door with a handful of Dragoons, 5 of them, attacking that turret, going to take it down so he can use that shuttle a little bit more effectively. At the same time, he's going to get around the outside of the natural expansion, out of the range of the Siege Tanks, and he's going to be able to do a ton of damage to the SCVs trying to mine over this. The SCVs are going to get pulled back, and now he's got the tanks trying to come down that ramp, and that is so difficult for a Terran to do. He's very clogged up at that point. And, oh, great positioning for the Reaver. Gets a shot that hits both of the tanks, splashing them both. He takes out both the tanks on the ramp. He's going to take out the one at the top. There's one unsieged tank ready to attack it, but both the Scarabs going to get off and take out that other tank, and now it looks like Jangbi's got free reign on the natural expansion. He's also going to be able to take out the top of the base with the shuttle he's got there, and now Jangbi is firmly in the lead with an expansion out and another one about to go up. He is taking this game away from Nada, and I don't think there's much Nada can do at this point.
Yeah, that's completely correct, actually. I think, really, even if he didn't win with this attack, he had done the damage he needs to.
Two
Reavers dropping. This is crazy. Nada's going to have to GG this. A brilliant attack by Jangbi. And again, just using that Reaver micro that pros are so known for. And GG coming out of Nada. So Jangbi taking 2 quick games from Nada, taking a nice lead, and now Jangbi's got to feel good. He's gotten his lead back. He's put Nada in a really uncomfortable position, as Nada now going from his lead, which he had just a few minutes ago, to a 1-2 deficit. So Nada must be a little bit crushed inside, knowing he needs to pull all he has out in this next game, or it's going to be over for him. Some brilliant Reaver micro by Jangbi, just did so much damage with those shuttles.
And we'll see. GG.